my crew.
Hey, pretty people.
Happy Monday.
Make it happy. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Richelle.
And you're about to get mildly informed.
Yes.
So.
There's a lot of therapy on TV these days.
So much. Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil. Dr. Jen.
Iyala.
But today we're talking about therapy. It's been a hot button topic. I know that a lot of us have been talking about mental health lately, especially with the Parkland, Florida shooting and everything. It's been obviously a big topic. And so I myself decided to heed that advice and I started therapy.
Which is exciting because for me personally, I was like, okay, so this is going to be like relatively offensive and I'm sorry, but my views have since changed, but I was always like, therapy's for crazy people.
But I think that's kind of the consensus in society, is that's been the thought process for so long.
Yeah, but
so I don't think we should shame you. I think that you've gotten that from society.
Yeah, and that's a very true statement right there as well. But like whenever I hear people speak on like friends, close friends, and everyone else that I know that went to therapy, they speak on the positive aspects of it, and I was just like, you're paying someone to be your friend. And then they were like, no, Aaron, that's not it at all. I'm actually like uncovering some deep-rooted truths about myself that I need to like uncover. And I'm just like, that sounds pretty good. I'm thinking I should try that one day. But I'm nervous because like I'm blending in well with the humans already and I really don't want emotions to come out. So
yeah, well, fair warning. So I started therapy back in the fall and there's a lot of reasons for that, but I'm feeling really positive about it right now. But fair warning, it definitely made me like emotionally raw for a solid month. I was just like feeling like tears would bubble up at any moment, which really and truly is good because I run from tears, and so it forced me to kind of get comfortable with being emotional because that's real.
It is real. I don't run from tears.
You don't run from tears, but
I cried at Game of Thrones.
That's true. You didn't cry at Huma-Huma. Spoiler alert.
They had time to see it.
But Aaron is not always vulnerable or in his vulnerable state, and
nope.
I think it's a healthy thing to explore that. So I encourage him to when he's ready. But yeah, I would say that it's definitely something that I would love to see more discussion about, more people come out and talk about it. And we're seeing it right now. But my experience has been great. I feel like it gives me the opportunity to talk about things in a way that you can't necessarily talk to friends because they know you differently than the person your therapist is. You know, they don't know you at all. They don't know you from any other person off the street. So they're hearing your story from you without bringing in any of their bias, or with the intention, because everybody's got bias, but without bringing in too much of their bias, what can they give or offer to guide me in the right direction?
Yeah. Which
friends can do, but they're coming from a different perspective because they know you.
Yeah. And
they don't have that objective viewpoint on you and your life, because you're only giving them so much and they see certain sides of you. But when you go to therapy, you're talking about, hopefully, if you're being honest, you're talking about the real stuff that you're really feeling and thinking. And I kind of feel like it's good to have somebody poke at you a little bit with their questioning, and friends don't always do that.
I try to get all up in people's business.
But there's a different way. I think that a trained professional goes about it an entirely different way than a friend would.
Yeah.
So it gives you an opportunity to really kind of delve into some questions that you may not have thought of on your own, nor would your friend necessarily think to ask you or question you in that way to cause you to think of it in a different way.
Definitely.
So that's kind of where it's taking me. Like, I started to call myself out more as well, which is good. Like, any of the crap habits that I have, whether it be like mentally or emotionally, if I have the habit of just like suppressing how I feel, calling myself out more and making myself sit and really be aware of how I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it, which is new for me.
I used to handle emotions prior to that advice, was just like, feel it, move on. It was like, I'm pissed. SpongeBob. I'm happy now, you know? But it's not that. It's like I actually have to get to the root of why I'm pissed, sad, mad, depressed.
And sometimes I think it is really okay to just let yourself be sad. If that's just honestly how you feel. Now, that doesn't mean wallow in it. But the reality is that sometimes you're gonna feel sad.
Yeah. No.
You don't have to like be like, oh no, I can't feel sad, because you do feel sad. Acknowledge it. Let yourself feel it. And then start to work through, like, how can I change this? But if you don't ever let yourself feel how you're honestly feeling, then
you're cheating yourself a little bit.
You're lying to yourself about your existence. And it catches up to you eventually. But yeah, Aaron and I, we were kind of thinking. So Aaron's not done therapy. I've done some therapy for a few months now. It's going well. But it made me start to think, like, especially in our current climate where, you know, mental health issues is such a big topic.
It's mental health is what we need to focus on right now. But when it comes to like therapy, which is healthcare.
Right, I was getting to that. So
healthcare being, I jumped in.
Yeah, healthcare being, you know, the thing that we're still struggling to figure out what our rights are, healthcare wise. A lot of people still don't have access to it.
Yeah. So it brought us to this point. Therapy is more privileged than right. That needs to change if mental health is as big as a problem as we claim it is. Like, in the Black community, mental health is often like thrown to the wayside.
Ooh. We don't talk about stuff. I mean, I think generally speaking, most people who are Black can support that statement, that I think that it's very common in the Black community to not talk about and not dig up deep-rooted, deep-seated issues. They just kind of plow forward and be strong and you'll get through it, and no one's really trying to dig through and figure out their dysfunction.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of dysfunction in the Black community. I think part of that is because we refuse to acknowledge mental health as like a health issue. Everyone can benefit from therapy.
Yeah, totally. So I would just love to move forward with like how like the country itself is talking about like mental health is a huge problem, not gun control, but mental health is a huge problem.
And it is.
But it's just like, okay, so what are we gonna do to move forward with helping like people that have mental health issues? Now, granted, I know therapy is expensive, but like we should have programs in place to where like mental health can fall under healthcare, and people that need like access to it can get it. So it goes from being a privilege to a right.
Yeah. So what I kind of think would be really cool, and what I see is kind of idealistic. I don't even know if this is something that would be possible or feasible for America, but I would love to see a situation in which every employer had a therapist or 2 or 3, depending on how large their company is or how many employees they have, but have designated therapists for every employer. That way, let's say I'm having a really crap day at work and I really need to go talk to somebody. Now, maybe it's not during the work day, but I just feel like it should be more accessible for me to just go and talk to a therapist.
Yeah.
And if I want to, I don't know. I guess there's 2 ways to go about it. One would be to have like a therapist at every employer, And then also you could pick a therapist outside of work if you, I don't know. I just would love to see it be accessible to everyone. Yeah. Just think about what the world would be like if everybody had access.
Yeah.
Legitimately had access. It was, there wasn't such a stigma attached to going and talking to somebody about your needs, emotional and mentally. So what would that look like?
Kind of a utopia. It wouldn't look like North America anymore. It looked like one of those European countries, like
Sweden.
Yeah. Which they have significantly less crime than us. They're way more educated. What else do they have going on for their? I
think they have free health care. I don't know. Don't quote me. I'm mildly informed on that one, but
the original topic. Therapy should be a right, not a privilege. And if you're like somebody teetering the fence like me, you should have the option to just go to a therapist's office, make an appointment, and then go to said appointment.
So you guys shouldn't be uncomfortable. If you feel like you need to talk to someone, if you feel like you could just be a better you. I think the biggest thing is that there are blind spots. Everybody has blind spots in their lives. Whether or not you believe it or you know it, someone else is going to have a different perspective of your situation than you and then your friends. And more often than not, a therapist is able to kind of guide you through and help you to be able to see where you're missing it.
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, and then also go to our Facebook page under the same name, Mildly Informed, and then go to our personal Instagrams. I always blank on that spot. And follow our Instagram pages.
So yeah, thanks for coming and watching and commenting and sharing, and we love your faces very much.
Tell your friends about us.
Yes,
Keep
you
doing
should.
that. Don't stop doing that.
And we will see you on next Thursday-ish.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go live.
We will be going live next Thursday.
See you guys then, and enjoy your Monday.
All right. Bye.
Bye.